You were intimated that it was not scheduling.
I mean, he's talked every
So here we are.
Wednesday.
Go ahead.
Don't be mad at me.
I'm confused. What she tweeted? I ain't.
It
What you tweeted? What you tweeted?
I'll tell you later.
was nothing bad.
Dang.
How's the knee? What are your prospects for playing this week? I know last week you was hoping to play at this time, but so we all check in with you today.
Yeah, I felt good today. I felt really good at practice today. You know, I know I'm still on that day-to-day protocol, but you know, after today, you know, I do feel good. I feel like I'm trending in the right direction, and I'm gonna continue to keep practicing.
What happened last week is y'all were fine on Wednesday, but by the time we got to Friday, Kurt was getting the snaps.
Yeah, you know, things just didn't pan out how I thought it was. I felt good coming in that morning, but you know, it was just some things happened to where I wasn't feeling my best, and I felt like you know, just me thinking about the team. I don't feel like me being out there on Sunday would have helped the team. I feel like I wouldn't have been able to get the team 100%, and that's what I want to do each and every time I step on the field. You know, I don't want to go out there and, you know, not give the team my all and not be able to give the team my all. So that's kind of where that decision came from. You know, I didn't feel good, and I didn't feel like I was going to be able to, you know, do what I needed to do to help our team win.
And so how tough was it watching? How tough was it watching, and were you able to learn anything, you know, watching that might help y'all put the offense back together?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough, you know, whenever you can't be out there and go to battle with your teammates, you know. But, you know, as far as what I learned, you know, just we just gotta find ways to score. We gotta find ways to put points on the board, and you know that obviously not just that game. You know, we have multiple games. We talk about the San Fran game. We talk about the Carolina game. You know, we gotta find ways to score. We gotta find ways to give our defense been playing a lights out. You know, I feel like they've been playing great, and we got to be able to play complementary football and, you know, be able to complement what they've been doing on that side of the ball, and we haven't been. But that's something we're definitely working on, and we're going to fix.
How are you feeling, like, physically out there? I mean, do you feel like you still have a little bit of limitations yourself, and is it hard to hold yourself back, like, from pushing it?
Nah, I feel good. See, I don't feel like I got to hold myself back. If I feel like that, I'm not going to go out there. You know, like I said, I want to be able to give my team my all. And, you know, that's what they deserve, you know, because those guys are, you know, amazing. You know, obviously, like I just talked about the defense, but obviously the offensive side of the ball as well. You know, I don't want to go out there and, you know, only be able to give half effort because of how I'm feeling. You know, so with that being said, I feel good. I felt great today at practice, and we're going to continue to see how I feel, you know, the rest of this week and, you know, make that decision soon.
I know you felt like you said you wouldn't have been able to help during Miami just because you weren't feeling well, but how hard was it for you to watch and not be playing in that game?
Yeah, like I said, it's always hard. You know, I got history of not being in, you know, because of injuries, and you know, it's always hard. It don't get no better. But at the end of the day, you know, your health is the number one thing, you know. And if I can't be out there and be healthy and give my team my all, you know, I don't feel like I should go out there and, you know, give my team 80%, 70%. You know, that's not fair to those guys. You know, so like I said, I'm feeling good. I'm trending in the right direction, and I'm looking forward to this week.
You guys are sitting one game below 500 in a very competitive NFC. Do you feel like added pressure in every week, or is it just like a week by week thing and you can't focus on that?
There ain't no pressure. It's at the end of the day, man. It's football. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. You know, but at the end of the day, I feel like for us, like, we gotta execute. That's what it's all about. You know, we got the players, we got the coaches, we got the game plan. We just got to execute and make it happen. You know, so as far as where we at right now, I feel like we're right where we want to be. You know, we're right where we want to be. People doubting us. You know, people don't think that we can get it done. And for us, we just got to go out there and prove ourselves right. You know, not prove the outside people, you know, anything, but just prove ourselves right and just prove that we know who we are, and just go out there and put it on display come Sunday and for the rest of the season. So.
The trend, like, over the last few weeks has been, you know, if the running game doesn't get going, the offense as a whole has a hard time getting going. How do you kind of adapt to that if teams are going to stack the box and take away Bijan and Tyler?
Get the ball over the top. That's it. We gotta win. We gotta win our one-on-one matchups on the outside, and as quarterbacks, we gotta deliver and give those guys the opportunity to make big-time plays, because we got we got the guys on the outside, we got the guys on the inside. So it's like, it's like we just got to go out there and play, execute.
In terms of making the line calls, how much of that is you and how much of that is Newsom?
Say it again.
Making the blocking calls up front. Are you doing more of that, or is Ryan doing more of that? Is it depending on the
It's both.
situation?
It's both. It's both of us. It's we work together on it. You know, obviously, just making the protection call and stuff in the huddle, and obviously, whenever we get to the line, he communicates what he sees. Really, all of the guys. And obviously, if I see something, I gotta make sure that we're going in the right direction with our slides so that we can be protected.
Coach Morris talked about how he was going to lean on that offensive line, lean on those guys because they're the leaders of this team. What's been their message to the locker room?
Who's the?
Just the offensive line. He said he was going to lean on the leaders on that offensive line. Have you heard anything from them? Just a general message from those guys since Sunday? Oh,
they up for it. They ready. They ready to go. They ready to go. They up for it. They up for the challenge that Raheem presented to them, and man, we all excited to see it. You know, I know those guys work extremely hard. You know, they pride themselves into being great and winning every matchup, and you know, I know they will. I know they will. But it's the NFL. We playing a lot of great guys. You know, but I know my guys that they definitely gonna be ready.
Mike, you're obviously a competitor. How frustrating is it that there are inconsistencies with this offense, especially given dating all the way back to training camp, you guys believe so much in what you have here offensively?
I say it's frustrating that we're not putting points on the board. You know, I'm not frustrated in the offense and what's going on because I know what we got. We just got to execute. You know, so it's frustrating knowing what we have and, you know, we're not going out there executing, you know, at a high level. You know, it got nothing to do with anything on the outside. It got nothing to do with play calling. It's about us going out there and making it happen, you know. So that's where I'm like, we got to fix that. We got to fix that.
Looks like the weather's going to be in the 40s on Sunday. You're obviously no stranger to that, and everyone knows the story about you having such a good performance at your workout with the Falcons. But is there something you do when it's cooler, or a reason why you think you can perform in those conditions?
Hey, man, it's time to play. It's time to play. It don't matter what the weather is. That's it.
Hey, what do you see when their defense? I'm looking at the lineup for the last game. They got like 5 linebackers and just 2 corners and the safety look like an old school 4-4-3.
Yeah. They do a lot of things. They do a lot of things. You know, but obviously what they're doing is working. You know, but they do present a lot of challenges, and we're up for it. And I know the guys and the coaching staff, we're all preparing, you know, for every look that we can possible, and to be able to go out there and dominate and you know, do what we want to do as an offense. You know, but they definitely do have good players on that side of the ball. Outside of the scheme, they have good players. You know, up front and on the outside. You know, so it's definitely going to be a big time matchup, and we look forward to it.
Do they stack Milton Williams and Landry together at times, or they come from different places? The big lineman they have, Harold Landry.
Yeah, what do you ask?
Do they stack him and Milton Williams, the big tackle?
They do everything. Those guys move around everywhere.
Okay.
Those guys can play anywhere. That's a good group of guys.
What's the biggest thing you need to see from yourself to feel like that you would be ready to go, no limitations on Sunday?
Biggest thing I need to see from myself?
Yeah.
Just staying consistent like I did today. You know, staying consistent, staying on top of my rehab, you know, staying on top of, you know, my diet, you know, it goes down all the way to that, you know, just doing the right things each and every day so that, you know, whenever I do come out here, I do feel great, you know, and I'm going to be good, you know. I know I am.
I can't remember if it was Zach or Raheem who said it, but he said the anticipations that Darnell's going to be taken on soon. What have you seen from him so far, just as he's come back from dealing with injuries throughout the course of this season, and then what do you expect from him just as we move into the second half of the season?
You talking about from Mooney?
Darnell Mooney, yes, sir.
You can start from the top. My bad. Say it again.
Just he said it. I can't remember if it was Raheem or if it was Zach who said it, but they expect him to take off soon.
Oh.
That's what they said, and I was just gonna see.
Oh, take off as in like ball.
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, dang, I ain't hear that.
Not leaving.
Oh.
Take off isn't like ball.
Okay, yeah. Okay. You using our lingo.
That's what they said.
Yeah, that's okay. No, for sure. Definitely. We Mooney. Obviously, we knew what. Whenever I got here, I knew the type of guy that he was. He was a guy that, you know, he got great feet. He got great route running skills, and he can get open at the top of the route and early on. So, you know, we definitely gonna get that going. And I know he prides himself. You got the way that he works each and every day. You know, the extra things that he does, the extra, you know, drills, the extra catching on the jug machines each and every day. You could tell how bad he want to be great. And matter of fact, shout out to him. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday. Yeah, man, we look forward to him doing great things, and you know, as long as the rest of the guys as well. So.
You sense frustration from him just for how the season's gone?
From Mooney?
From Darnell, yeah.
See, nah, I feel like, man, I wouldn't say it's frustration. You know, obviously I know how bad he wants to make plays and how bad he wants to, you know, help us win football games and be an impact each and every week, you know, but he's never been a guy that's been frustrated or, you know, at least shows that frustration. I don't see it. You know, he comes out to practice the same guy each and every day. He comes ready to work, and, you know, he's always looking forward, so.
Anything else?
Thanks, man.
Now y'all can go.
Appreciate it. Yeah, he's not going anywhere.